Hey, YouTube fan, this is Young God in the building. You know, look at my eyes, man. Yeah, I just smoke a blunt. But, you know, I was sitting there smoking and just having random thoughts, just going through my phone, you know, went on Facebook for a minute, stuff like that. And I just have this thought that that's pop in my head and I need answers. I need answers. But I mentioned talking about the ego and the higher self, and I said that actually we're like two separate entities in one body in terms of you're all you, but you have a lower self and a higher self, right? And your lower self is mostly what your ego is. Your ego likes pleasurable stuff. Your ego is likes to party. Your ego, that's why I call it my little monkey. I call my ego a little monkey, you know. And the ego loves pleasure. The ego loves this realm. The ego, loves going to the clubs. The ego loves sex. Ego loves everything that's pleasurable, everything that's off this world. The ego, wants to be it. But the thing is, even though the ego is your lower self, I wouldn't suggest that you totally make the ego like an enemy of yourself. Like I wouldn't say, like my little monkey, my ego. I say, hey, little monkey, because I know when it's acting up. I know when there's a girl walking on the street and I turn my head and look and the thoughts and stuff, I know that's the ego part of me. My lower self, the little monkey, love everything pleasurable. Don't take it. That's the ego. Your higher self is more connected with nature, is more connected with the beyond this dimension. So your higher self, allows you to understand, to be more connected, like spiritually. You got your lower self, your higher self. That some people might say God and the devil is in you. Everything is within you. That's what I'm saying. When you have evil thoughts and you act upon evil thoughts or evil ideas, that you're listening to your lower self. When you act upon, and then sometimes your instinct kicking or you feel this feeling that say, hey, don't do that. And you listen to it and it works out better because you listen to it. Your gut instinct, your feelings, your higher self sometimes talks to you, and sometimes you listen to it, you don't know. You don't even know. Sometimes you don't. You make the wrong decision and then you have to deal with the consequences, So that's the whole point. There's no God, Jesus. Let me not say Jesus because I'm not talking about one specific religion. I'm talking about there's no physical God and then a physical devil out there. Everything is within you. You get me? So you have to understand your higher self and your lower self. Your lower self is the ego. So, well, I decided to do this video, and this is why, I need answers on this. Because I've heard that, you got the divine masculine and the divine feminine, stuff like that. And, it has to do with certain sections of the brain and, left side, right side of the brain and vibration and all that stuff. But there's one thing that came to me just now, like for real. Is it that the divine masculine be your lower self, the monkey? I just call it monkey. This is my term. Don't, I mean your lower self, your ego. I call it ego, the monkey. And is it that you divine feminine actually be your higher self? That's why they refer to women as being gods. like woman or God. The higher self is connected to the universe. The higher self is connected with nature. The higher self is connected with different dimensions beyond this 3D dimension that we're living in. So is that part of the reason? And also the higher self, remember, the reason why I say that is because your lower self that loves pleasure, that is more physical, that's on this realm, that the ego, that always want to, you know, everything pleasurable on this realm. Sound like a man to me, right? That's what I was saying. Like, doesn't the ego sound like a male? And then you have the divine feminine, or your higher self, which is more connected, which is more like it has feelings. It has, you could sense things before it happened. You could have dreams that actually happen. That's, you being in your higher self. You could just be sitting there and you have certain thoughts. So wouldn't it sounds like, and if you're more connected with nature and the universe and animals and plants and trees, doesn't that sound, that connection and that feeling aspect, doesn't that sound more like a female, like a feminine? What I'm really trying to say is, I think for some strange reason, the ego, the lower self, is like the divine masculine in a way that, and it's weird because I'm an alpha male, and this is very difficult for me to kind of talk about, because I'm an alpha male. But I'm just, after meditating and stuff, I had some weed, start meditating. I was like, well, the ego is more masculine, by for sure, and your higher self is more feminine because of the whole feeling aspect, and that you're more connected. That's, the women are more like that, emotional and feelings. That's why they're emotional, because of their feelings. So is it that your lower self, and I need answers, whoever out there that got the answers, this is the question. This is just me throwing it out there after smoking some weed and just sitting here sipping on some orange juice with a pulp. I do that stuff. I was watching actually I'm weird like that. I'm not the regular person that I'm just watching some documentaries about animals and plants and trees and shit. I love Animal Planet, and I love weird stuff, man. I'm a weird guy, but I accept me for me, so it is what it is. Yeah, my face look a little puffy because when I shave myself, and I think that irritates my skin for a couple of days, and it will go down anyway. Yes, so the answers, I need answers. Whoever got it, throw it out there. You don't even have to direct it to me. If I'm a follower or something, like when I say follower, like if we're in like social media connection or YouTube or whatever, and I can actually access your information, throw it out there. What do you think? Question is it that the ego, the lower self, is more like a divine masculine, and then you have the higher self, same in you, which is more the divine feminine, or which is more when you're more connected, to the universe and everything else. You get the question. Shit, I said that over and over. I'm high. Give me a break. But anyway, I'm gonna throw this out there. Love you all. Say here, look, big ass goddamn TV is so big. It's like 65-inch. I'm gonna throw it out though because I'm trying to stop watching TV. Anyway, hey, don't watch The Messenger. Did you get the message? Thanks. Young Gods, love.